Welcome to the deep dive. Ever feel like maybe your words aren't quite landing how you want them to?
Mm-hmm.
Well, today we're diving into the tools that can help. The parts of speech. Foundational stuff, really.
Exactly.
You're looking for a solid grasp without, getting totally bogged down in jargon. So we've pulled together insights from places like the University of Victoria, Walden University.
Grammarly, Wikipedia, even some exercises from Bergen Community College, and a really useful overview from Uti Chuck.
Right. And our mission here is basically to unpack these core elements, show you why they matter, and hopefully boost your confidence when you communicate.
That's the goal. It's like knowing your ingredients before you start cooking,
Yeah.
right? Understanding what each part does.
Good analogy.
Uti Chuck starts us off. Well, parts of speech are just categories words fit into based on their job in a sentence. And yeah, pretty much all our sources agree on 8 main ones.
Okay, 8 categories. But why should you, listening now, really care? It sounds basic, maybe.
Well, it's more practical than you might think. Walden University points out something key. Understanding these helps you nail verb tenses.
Ah, so knowing when something happened.
Precisely. Getting time right in your writing, it's a big deal. And Ore Sakinao adds it helps you understand grammar overall and even use dictionaries more effectively. Understanding those labels like N or V.
Right, okay. That makes sense. It's the bedrock for clear communication.
It really is. So, shall we start digging into these 8? Maybe begin with nouns?
Let's do it. Nouns. So what is a noun exactly?
Grammarly gives a pretty solid definition. It's a word that names a person, a place, a concept, or an object.
Okay. And Wikipedia adds a kind of test for it, right? Like it often works with articles a or the and adjectives.
Yeah, like you can say the fluffy cat, but not really the quickly run. Shows cat as a noun there.
Gotcha. So types of nouns, are there different kinds?
Oh, definitely. And knowing the types helps. Grammarly and Winicho mentioned common nouns versus proper nouns.
Like dog versus Fido.
Exactly. And proper nouns, the specific names like Fido or London,
Yeah.
they always get capitalized. Wikipedia reminds us of that.
Right. What else?
Then you've got concrete versus abstract nouns, concrete things you can touch or see like desk. Abstract are ideas or qualities like justice.
Okay. Desk versus justice. Makes sense.
And countable versus mass nouns. This one's important for grammar.
Countable like chairs? Mass like? Furniture?
Pretty much. You can have 3 chairs, but usually not 3 furnitures.
Ugh.
Wikipedia notes, countable nouns can be plural and used with numbers. Mass nouns generally can't.
And collective nouns. I remember those.
Yep, words for groups like team, family, committee. Interestingly, Wikipedia points out they can sometimes take a singular verb, sometimes plural, depending on if you mean the group as one unit or the individuals in it.
That can be tricky.
It can. Duan Chaco gives a good range of examples like girl, Rome, chair, happiness, dollars, rice, committee covering all these types. Recognizing them isn't just academic, it helps you choose words better. Fear is okay, but maybe trepidation captures a specific abstract feeling better.
Good point. Okay, so that's nouns. What's next? Pronouns.
Pronouns, yes. Grammarly defines them as the stand-ins for nouns.
Ah, the substitutes.
Right. We use them when it's clear who or what we're talking about, so we don't have to keep repeating the noun. Avoids awkwardness.
Like saying he went instead of Bob went again and again.
Exactly. And there are different types here, too, flagged by Grammarly and Ujek. You have subjective ones, the doers like I, he, she, they.
Okay.
Objective ones, the receivers of the action, me, him, her, them.
Mm-hmm.
Possessive ones show ownership, mine, yours, his, hers, theirs. Demonstrative ones point things out, this, that, these, those.
This and that, yeah. Seems straightforward.
Mostly, but the precision is useful. There are also reflexive pronouns like myself, herself. They reflect back to the subject.
Right.
Indefinite pronouns for non-specific things. Anyone, somebody, nothing. And reciprocal ones for mutual actions. Each other, one another.
Each other. Okay.
And a really crucial point from Grammarly, pronouns have to agree with the noun they replace. Number and gender.
That's a common mistake, isn't it?
It can be. And they also note the increasing use of they, them, their as singular gender-neutral options, which is important linguistically. Tricount gives examples like she, him, that, ourselves, nobody, each other, showing the variety.
Okay, pronouns covered. Let's move to the descriptive words. Adjectives.
Adjectives, right. Grammarly says these are words that describe or modify nouns. They add detail.
Like a sunny day or the red car.
Exactly. They paint a richer picture.
Yeah.
And they can come before the noun or after a linking verb like the soup is hot.
Got it. And I bet there are different types of these too.
You bet. Doing your banks and grammarly break them down. You got your basic descriptive ones, funny, blue, old.
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly, Grammarly notes there's often a preferred order if you use several descriptive adjectives together: opinion, size, age, shape, color, etc. So like a lovely little old wooden box.
Oh, wow. I never consciously thought about that order.
Most native speakers do it automatically. Then there are quantitative adjectives, many, 3.
Mm-hmm.
Comparative and superlative ones, bigger, biggest.
Okay.
Proper adjectives made from proper nouns like French bread or a Shakespearean play. Demonstrative adjectives like this book or those people, they point out which noun.
Yeah, isn't this also a pronoun?
It can be. Depends on the job it's doing. If it's before a noun, this book, it's an adjective. If it stands alone, I want this, it's a pronoun. Context is key.
Ah, okay. That clarifies things. What other adjectives?
Possessive adjectives my, your, her. Interrogative ones for questions which path, whose coat. Cardinal and ordinal numbers 2, second. And even articles a and the are technically considered adjectives.
Articles too, huh? Okay.
Los's examples like young, many, Russian, these, her, whose, second, and showing that range.
All right, that's a lot of describing words. Let's get to the action. Verbs.
Verbs. The heart of the sentence, often. Grammarly defines them as words describing actions, either physical like run or mental like think, or they describe states of being like is or seems.
And Wikipedia says the noun-verb difference is pretty universal across languages.
It seems to be fundamental, yeah. And like the others, verbs have categories: action verbs versus non-action, or stative verbs.
Action is doing something. Stative is being something.
Basically, she runs versus she seems tired, then transitive versus intransitive.
Transitive needs an object, like you kick the ball.
Exactly. The action transfers to an object. Intransitive verbs don't need one. He laughed. Wikipedia also mentions ditransitive verbs, which can take 2 objects, like and he gave me the keys.
Okay.
We also have linking verbs like be, become, feel, which connect the subject to more information about it. Auxiliary verbs are helping verbs like be, have, do.
They help form tenses, right? Like I'm going, she is finished.
Precisely. And modal auxiliaries like can, might, should, must, they add shades of meaning like ability, possibility, obligation.
Okay.
Then there are regular verbs that form the past tense predictably, usually adding aid, like walked, and irregular ones that, well, don't, like go becomes went, eat becomes ate.
Those need memorizing.
They often do. And finally, Aide Techichirio points out phrasal verbs combinations like look after or break down, where the verb and particle together create a new meaning. Walden University also notes similar verb plus preposition combos like agree with, which aren't always separable like phrasal verbs.
Phrasal verbs can be tricky too.
Definitely. Uchu Sancho gives examples like ran, has, appear, offered, is, will, learned, went, look out, showing the huge variety of verbs.
Okay, we've got nouns, pronouns, adjectives, verbs. That's a big chunk. What's next?
Adverbs. These often modify verbs, but they can also modify adjectives or other adverbs. Grammarly's definition.
They tell us how, when, where, right?
Exactly. Or why, or to what extent. The ally ending is a common sign, like quickly or happily. But lots of adverbs don't end in ally, like fast. Well, here, now.
Right, like run fast, not run fastly.
Correct. And ally and Grammarly helpfully categorize them. Adverbs of time, yesterday, soon, place, outside, everywhere, manner, carefully, loudly.
Manner is the how.
Yep. Adverbs of degree tell you how much, very almost too. And adverbs of frequency say how often, sometimes never, usually.
Yeah.
Oleg has examples like quickly, yesterday, outside, extremely often.
Very useful words, adverbs. Okay, next up.
Prepositions. These little words are crucial connectors. Grammarly says they show the relationship between a noun or pronoun and other words, often about location, direction, or time.
Like in, on, under, before, after.
Exactly. The University of Victoria Guide has really thorough lists for time, since, for, until, by, for place direction, in, at, on, across, through, between, for connections of, with, by.
And with show relationships.
They do, like a cup of tea or walk with a friend. Walden University points out they often pair with verbs
Rely on.
or adjectives. Interested in.
That's a good point. The combinations.
Yeah. Walden also tackles that old question about ending sentences with prepositions.
Is it allowed?
Generally, yes,
Yeah.
especially for natural flow. Who did you give it to? But in very formal writing, you might rephrase, to whom did you give it? They also warn against extra, unnecessary prepositions like, where are you at? Just say, where are you?
Keep it concise.
Right. Which chance could you give lots of examples?
Yeah.
On, under, next to, across, through, into, up, down, around, because of, according to. Even the Bergen College exercises show for and near, used as prepositions. It's really about understanding those relationships they signal.
Got it. 2 more categories left.
Yep. Conjunctions are next. The joiners. Grammarly defines them as words linking words, phrases, or clauses.
Like and, but, or.
Those are coordinating conjunctions. They join equal parts. Then you have subordinating conjunctions like because, if, although, when. They introduce dependent clauses, clauses that can't stand alone.
Linking a main idea to a less important one.
Sort of, or showing the relationship between them, like cause, because, or condition, if.
Yeah.
And the third type is correlative conjunctions. They work in pairs.
Like either or.
Exactly. Either, neither nor, both hand, not only but also grammarly and examples covering all types, and but, because, unless, since, either, not only but also. Essential for complex sentences.
Okay, final one. Interjections.
Interjections. These are bursts of emotion, according to Grammarly. Short words or phrases expressing strong feelings, often set off by a comma or exclamation mark.
Like, ouch!
Exactly. Or, wow, oops, hey, well, oh. Or as they can stand alone and still convey meaning. They add flavor and immediacy.
Wow, okay, that's all 8.
That's the main lineup.
Yeah.
But there's a really important point from Joshua we touched on earlier.
Which is?
That many words can actually be more than one part of speech. It all depends on the context how the word is used in the sentence.
Right, like work can be a verb, I work hard, or a noun, my work is done.
Precisely. Or, well, it can be an adverb, she dances well, an adjective, are you feeling well, or even an interjection, well, look who's here. You always have to look at the sentence structure.
That's crucial. Don't just memorize labels. Understand function.
Exactly. And because prepositions can be especially tricky, that University of Victoria guide offers some great learning tips.
Oh yeah, like what?
Well, they suggest memorizing prepositions as part of fixed phrases, using tools like Google Enneagram Viewer to see how common phrases are.
Enneagram Viewer, what's that?
It shows you how often words or phrases appear in books over time, useful for checking common usage.
Cool.
They also advise reading a lot, paying attention to prepositions, making flashcards, maybe with pictures, listening carefully to how people use them in conversation, movies, music, and most importantly, actively practicing using them yourself.
Makes sense. Active use is key.
It really cements the learning.
Okay, so let's try to wrap this up. We've gone through all 8 parts of speech. Nouns, pronouns, adjectives, verbs, adverbs, prepositions, conjunctions, and interjections.
We looked at what they do, the different types within each category, and why understanding them actually matters for communicating clearly.
Right. It's not just grammar for grammar's sake. It gives you, the listener, a framework for building better sentences, for expressing yourself more precisely.
Absolutely. Knowing these building blocks means you can analyze language better, both yours and others, and construct your own messages with more confidence and control. You move from just knowing words to understanding how they work together.
So a final thought for you to take away from this deep dive. Think about the last important thing you wrote or said. Maybe an email, maybe notes for a meeting, maybe even just a text message. Now, thinking about these parts of speech, look back at it. Can you see the roles the words are playing? Did you use them effectively? Are there spots where maybe a different adjective, a stronger verb, or a clearer conjunction could have made your point sharper or more impactful?
Yeah, how does having this awareness maybe change how you'll approach things next time you need to communicate something important?
Something to mull over. Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.